ladies and gentlemen. It is the weekend, well, one of the weekends that we've been waiting for on this show. There's only one weekend that's more important. Your Philadelphia Eagles get an opportunity, the probability to go out and play a team that has been talking cash money since they beat our backup quarterback. Now, I'm going to give them credit. They beat the number 1 seed. And they beat the 3 seed. But guess who they didn't beat? They ain't beat the number 2 seed. And that's the Philadelphia Eagles. So shout out to the Washington Commanders for giving us home field advantage throughout the NFC as long as we still in it. And we still in it. But what I want to remind the other 3 teams that's left, who got the number 1 defense, who got the number 1 running game. And all the Eagles fans is out here talking about, oh, Jalen Hurts need to do more. Jalen Hurts need to do this. Jalen Hurts need to do that. Remember something. Statistically speaking, we want Jalen Hurts at 155 or less. Because when he throws for 155 or less, I'm going to even go as far as say under 200 yards. Because when he does that, guess how many wins he has in playoffs? 4. When he throws for what y'all want him to do, 250 plus yards, guess how many wins he has? 0. Guess how many losses he's got? 3. So what that tells me is in order for us to have the success that we want to have, we need the QB1 to have under 200 yards. I'm going to push it 200 yards passing, right? If history says that's what the team is more successful, then maybe that's what we should do. And don't forget, best defense, best running game. So if your quarterback can control the ball, not turn it over, best running game in the league, best defense in the league, we're going to be a problem. So Washington, you bring it Sunday. We're going to bring it too. Whoever wins, and we know the referee's favorite, the NFL's favorite, going to probably win, you bring it in 3 weeks. Because if we get past this week, which we should, but we don't know until the game's played, we got something for y'all too. We can sniff it, we can smell it, we can breathe it. I got a tingle that I had in 2017 that came back. I ain't had a tingle in 2022, but I got it now. So I want y'all to understand. We can sniff it. We hungry. And in the words of the team, let's hunt. Yeah, that's your preview for the day. It's time to get into it. Wyatt, what's going on, my boy?
Going cool. What's going on, Eagles Nation? You know, conference championship. This is exactly the position we expected to be at the start of the season. Now, the only decision left is, finish our food and get to that Super Bowl.
Diva, what up?
What's going on, Philly? How y'all feeling? We almost there. We ring chasing, but we almost there. You know what I'm saying? We got to get this, and we can do it. A little thing is, when we went to Super Bowl last 2022, we was 14-3 at the end of the season. We were 14-3 at the end of this season. So maybe that's our lucky number, showing that we ready for this thing. We built. It's a Philly thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to start off with a couple of comments here. Philly says, how about those Eagles? How about those birds?
What's going on, Philly?
Yes, sir. And the Snowman says, y'all need to WIN on Sunday.
Yeah.
Snowman?
I'm going
to go. Snowman?
You know what's going to happen, Snowman.
We need to. We have to find a way to win on Sunday. We have to. And then we got to find a way to win 2 weeks from then. Have to. Not need to, not want to. We have to. This is our year. Stop. I've been very humble up to this point. I'm still being humble because the games ain't happened, but we have to win, y'all. This is us. Defense is top notch. You know what I'm saying? Running game. We don't know if we're going to ever have a Saquon like this again in his career. Because unless you Derrick Henry, you don't have 2 seasons anywhere near the season that Saquon's had this year. And let's not forget, The know-it-all coach GM combo. I'll even put it on both of them together. The know-it-all coach GM combo decided not to let that man get that all-time record. So if you're not going to give him the all-time record, you better get him a dat-blame Super Bowl ring.
Right.
Nobody playing with y'all. If this does not end in a Super Bowl, there's going to be some problems from the fan base. And there's going to be some problems from the three people you're looking at now. Because some situations and some choices were made that if we're not going to allow people to do what they need to do, you better find a way to do what the ultimate goal is, period. But before I get too worked up, you know what I'm saying? Because this is one of them serious episodes. And when I say serious, I mean we're going in. Not that we're going to be sitting around analyzing the game for 2 hours. No, we're gonna talk. You know how we get down. But before we get into that, let's get a little bit more hype.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
All right, y'all. Y'all know how we start things off every week. Ain't nothing changed but a limp. Updates.
Yes, sir. So we got the Associated Press announced their finalists for the regular season awards that get announced during Super Bowl week, and the Eagles, of course, got a couple of those. Of course, Saquon Barkley is going to be up for MVP and also Offensive Player of the Year. Zach Bond is up for Defensive Player of the Year. And Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are up for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And Vic Fangio is up for Assistant Coach of the Year. So we got some members we kind of expected as far as the, yearly awards go.
That's what's up. We also got some news on one Quinyon Mitchell that it's a good possibility we may see him on Sunday. We also, of course, have really got no information on Jalen Hurts. So we know how that goes. They just kind of act like nothing's happening. Then he shows up or he doesn't. It's kind of like, the norm. And we also have a player who may be returning that hasn't practiced in a while that could possibly be back for Sunday. In the name of one Britton Covey. Mr. Play a game, hurt my shoulder, play a game. I was saving for the Super Bowl because we don't get to have a game. But yeah, so a couple of pieces of news there. Shout out to everybody who, up for awards. I read something, I did not check this, so correct me if I am wrong, but I heard that Jalen Hurts was in the running for MVP. As an Eagles fan, I will say he should not be in the running for MVP because I don't think he's put up the stats to be in the running for MVP. And how can he be in the running this year when he couldn't be in the running when he had his best season as a pro 2 years ago? Because he missed a couple of games. So how in the running this year, he wasn't in the running that year. So
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Because I think he missed the same amount of games this year.
Yeah, actually, I think he missed more this year.
Yeah.
So just my thoughts on that. Diva, anything you saw?
No. Wyatt covered it all.
All right. So y'all, we can get past that. And it's time. You get the bad news first, then the good news. The weakest link. Wyatt, who was your weakest link this week, sir?
Oh man. If I had to pick someone, I'm gonna pick Jake Elliott. I know he kicked a couple clutch field goals in there, but bro, you missed 2 of them in there as well. And those 2, actually, you wouldn't even have to worry about that last drive with the Rams if you would have made 2 of them. It would have been out. We would have been not even worrying or stressing in that final drive or so with them Rams. It would have been out ski. We could have had maybe the starter sitting for a little bit. But I mean, it was messy. I understand, but this has been kind of a consistent thing through the back half of the season here for Jake Elliott, and it's kind of a concern, especially going into conference championship and then possibly a Super Bowl.
Diva, what about you?
The darn coordinating offensive coordinators, man.
That was my backup. That's who I was going to say too if someone went first.
Including Nick and Kellen Moore. I don't know who it is, but both of y'all get it this week.
Y'all trying to get Jalen killed.
Trying to get Jalen killed and everybody else. You ain't scheming nobody open. Like, ain't nothing creative. It's so vanilla. Ain't even funny.
I'm going to have to go A.J. Brown.
Valid. Very valid.
You can't drop that, my boy. You got your book. Your mind supposed to be right. You're supposed to be ready when your number called. You are number one. You're our unquestioned best receiver.
He said he slipped.
I don't care. You get that close to the catch, I need you to make a catch. You got to find a way to make a play. You're that dude for us. You're not the only one out there that's be slipping, but you're that dude for us. Plays like that we have to have from you, because if we don't, we may not win games. The kicker ain't making kicks like he's supposed to. What, he missed 2 extra points?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yep.
man.
You know, so he out there missing extra points. We got to have the plays from you, dog. Got to have them. Just saying. I mean, I have to have something besides the 2 that you have, because the 2 that you have are actually 1,000% on point. After I get past them 2, and it's not a thing where like, it's just horrible, but we just got to have you be that guy. If you only get 6 chances, we need 5 catches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We need 5 catches for at least like 70, 75 yards. If you get 6 opportunities or more, we got to have it from you. So with that standard, got to give you that. But there is good news. And that comes in the form of the elite performance of the game. Diva, who's your elite performance?
The man who saved the game, Jalen Carter. Because without Jalen Carter and that dominance that he played all game, especially that last play of the game, we would not be happy fans right now. Literally, he saved the game. I think he had a total of 5 sacks.
Okay. What you got?
I'm going to go with one Nolan Smith, who has just been on fire as of recently, just creating pressure and also generating sacks. And just that leap from, his rookie season to now, it's been tremendous. And I mean, we've all kind of expected a decent side of him as a player to come out, but we didn't expect, this type of player out of him this early in his career. So hopefully he can just keep building on this as it goes.
I'm gonna have to go with one Saquon Barkley. I think we all know why. We don't win without Saquon and his touchdowns, even though we weren't getting all the extra points like we should have. We don't win without his touchdowns. In the same breath that you said, Weakest Linc was Jake Elliott. Got to give him some love as almost making elite performance too, because he made the field goals. And apparently, another weird and wild statistic that I found this week. We're undefeated when Jake Elliott misses an extra point in the playoffs.
That's a weird stat. I don't like it, but it's a weird stat.
I don't either. Sometimes I just be like, should we go for the 2?
Especially when they're like, oh, this is a 40-yard, 45-yard field goal. I'm like, I don't know, man.
I mean, he making them, but them extra points, he right there at that goal.
I was at the Eagles bar again this week. If you, my friend on Facebook, you saw, right? Every time he got ready to kick a field goal, we was like, all that, like nervous, crazy nervous. But yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why we got to get the bad with the good. Like, can we just get the good Jake Elliott? We the bad Jake Elliott at home. I mean, Sam Shady, shout out to him. He says, maybe we need to bring some competition. We need to bring somebody to take this dude's job, not just some competition, the way he doing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you beat him out, you beat him out. But I'm definitely 100% flipping on that all for competition for next year, because I don't know what they've done to Jake, but they done broke him.
Well, listen, I don't think it's just Jake. I mean, if you look at the whole league's kickers been having, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's some bad juju on the kickers this year.
Time to go grab some UFL kickers then. Them boys make them. You know what I'm saying?
These kickers been missing.
Time to go get the UFL boys then. If they can't do it, these boys can't do it. UFL got plenty of guys that'll do it. So Justin Tessier is in the building. What's going on, Justin? Appreciate you watching.
Oh, my guy.
Yes, make sure you leave us a like. Yeah, make sure you leave us a like. We could definitely appreciate that. But he says, got Eagles getting the win, taking care of their business, and going to the Super Bowl. I think Zach Bond is going to have Jaden Daniels' numbers and keep him in check.
Hope so. That was another player you could have put as your player of the game too. Zach Bond just like upping that payday every game now at this point.
Well, he already
looking. He got that blank check.
He know he about to get that, but I think it's gonna be more than just Zach Bond. I think it's gonna be the whole defensive line, like how they got played that last game.
CJ with him getting ejected and everything, he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, the team is gonna definitely respond for this specific matchup, most assuredly. But before we move forward, let's take us a commercial break, and then we're gonna go backwards. And we're going to talk about the game that was against the Rams. We'll even talk a little bit about the other games that happened. But before we do that, we got one more comment. So Justin says, HEL dropped the light. Good show. Keep it up, guys. Appreciate that, Justin. We try to bring something different. Yeah, we try to bring our own different spin on things. We don't always got to agree. But we always agree that we need to win games. And that's what matters. All right, y'all. Let's get this thing rolling.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We're going to see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers?
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA like, oh, okay, then LA Knight hopped out the car, let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. So we are back in the building, live, all that good stuff. So we got Haseen Terrell in the chat. He says, hi there, guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Haseen. Appreciate you coming through.
Yes,
hopefully you keep sliding on through. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, time for a little Wayback Machine to this past Sunday. Got a divisional round review. So would you guys like to do our game first or go through the other games and do our game last? What would y'all like to do?
I mean, if you want to get the bums out the way, we can.
Sweep the rest on the rug.
I love the way Diva put that very much. Definitely love the way that she put that. All right, so let's get in the Wayback Machine. We had 4 games that happened January 18th. Well, technically 2 that happened on the 18th. And then, 2 on the 19th. Technically. So we had 4 games on the 18th and 19th. So we'll start January 18th, 2025. Early game. I don't remember the times. I was too excited. Just throughout the weekend. Just been very hype. The Houston Texans fell to the Kansas City Chiefs. And I just want to say, for years, I have been saying on this show and any platform that allows me to speak my mouth on there and speak my mind, the referees helped the Kansas City Chiefs. Now America is beginning to jump onto that bandwagon. I know the referees came out. Ex-referee came out and said, oh, they're not helping them, blah, blah, blah. Cal Malarkey, horse turd, sir. You, sir, are a liar. For you to put out a statement, for anyone to put out a statement and say the referees are not helping the Kansas City Chiefs, you are a liar and you should be vexed your soul to hell for lying. How about that? You know it's not true. We're not buying it. Everyone's starting to see what I've been seeing. When it happens to your team, you start to pay attention. Right? 49ers been saying it, Eagles been saying it, some teams in the AFC been saying it. But as it starts to happen to your team and more teams, then people start to really jump on and be like, oh, wow, this really is a thing. Texans were robbed. The Chiefs are supposed to be this very good team. They're supposed to have the best quarterback in football, but they need help to always win. And not saying that they can't win without help, but the help is why they're winning. I don't even care about the makeup of the game. That's what I want to talk about the game. Cheaters. They say cheaters never win. There are cheaters that win. All you have to do is be a Kansas City Chief.
Or the Patriots.
Yeah.
They cheated first.
Oh, yeah, they got a blueprint for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Golden Boy made a statement and said it was a lie.
Vex thine soul to hell for lying. How about that? We're going to go that way today. Vex thine soul to hell. I'm sick of them. Any thoughts, Diva?
Man, ain't no thoughts on that game. I mean, we knew it was going to go how exactly it was going to go. But my thing is, when Or are we gonna start boycotting the NFL? Because I'm tired of seeing they pick one team and you see that team over and over and over and over, and it just gets old. Like, let some other teams in there. The people that actually play hard to get where they're at and not have to cheat to get there. I mean, really ain't a reaction on that game because they got cheated. Period. Like, he always gets all these roughing the passer calls and everything
Two
else.
boys
And
hit each other and they got a foul. It's crazy.
right. It's ridiculous.
That's why I call me an favorite. Go ahead, Wyatt.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say it's just as ridiculous when you look at the rest of the games that happened that weekend and see how the other QBs are treated as far as like flags thrown or anything like that. Like
Or not
Lamar
thrown.
and Jalen both got like decked. I mean, even Jared Goff too, but Lamar and Jalen got decked. Jalen got his knee hurt. No flag on that play whatsoever. It was a hip drop tackle. I think Lamar's was too, and he got hit out of bounds. But like you have Pat Mahomes, who's purposely kind of flopping and just staying in bounds enough so someone pushes him and then it gets the flag thrown, or he's complaining after every play. It's just the same stuff. And like you said, it's been happening ever since we've noticed it since the Super Bowl and everything. But now people, especially with that game with the Texans, it seems like social media is really starting to kind of open their eyes to the whole Chiefs thing. I mean, everybody's been talking about it all season. Like the Chiefs haven't been a wagon like they normally are this whole season. They've been having like these little one possession, game. They've been winning these close games every single week. And I mean, a lot of people were comparing them to last year's Eagles, the way they were looking, and they just kind of expected them to kind of fall off the cliff the way that we did last year. But they've somehow been persevering, mostly due to the help from the refs and everything too.
I'm like, dang, when Andy Reid was in the Eagles, we ain't never get no help from the refs. Now he go over there with Golden Boy, he just get all the help. I don't get it.
And we get no help from the refs. We get
When
zero
Andy Reid
help
was
from the
coach,
refs.
None. None.
The Walrus.
Now he go over there and stop eating so many Philly steak and cheese and lose a little bit of weight. Now they all, you know what? I'm gonna shut up.
Nah, they got Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes over there. They want to make sure they're set.
I'm always down for a hate session on the Chiefs. I just want to be clear to anybody who's watching for the first time. I am a Chiefs hater. Okay, I am unbiased. I'm unequivocally a Chiefs hater. Undeniably a Chiefs hater. Because when you get the referees and that's how you win, yeah, I'm gonna hate on you because you're at a competitive advantage over the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's hate worthy.
That's why we didn't win the Super Bowl. Just like with the Patriots is why we didn't win the Super Bowl the first time, but we got them back finally. It's coming. Mm-hmm. It's coming, Chiefs.
Yep.
Chiefs.
Gonna come right back around.
It's coming.
Watch your back.
Yep. We coming.
Let's hunt.
Yeah.
Commanders with a 45-31 win, second game on the road against the number 1 seed Detroit Lions. Diva, my brother's a Lions fan. Shout out to him because he's been there for a minute. He didn't just get there when it became a sexy pick or when they got new uniforms. But the Lions were lying in the playoffs. No matter if you're the number 1 seed, no matter if you're the number 7 seed. The Lions in the playoffs is a problem. And they lost to Washington. Jaden Daniels, amazing game. I said before the season that they were going to be second in the division, get in the playoffs and maybe make some noise. I didn't expect to get all the way to the NFC Championship game. I'm not going to sit there and I expect them to get all the way there. We look at the matchups. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is poor against running quarterbacks that are not Jalen Hurts. Detroit, bad against running quarterbacks, right? You got a young guy. You got film on him now, but you're still year one. He's still building and developing and everything. So they got a favorable path, but you still had to beat the number 1 and number 3 seed. So not taking away from that, but they were good. They happened to be good matchups for the Commanders. So getting themselves from 7 to 6 was a big deal for them. And it worked out in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because this could have been a first round matchup, but instead as we're going to talk about, is going to be the NFC Championship game. The only thing I'll say about the game, other than what I've already said, is shout out to the Lions run game. The Lions are running the ball well, but the problem is once you get down, you got to kind of go to the air. And also, for those of you who may not know, both of the coordinators for the Lions, out of there. And expect no pity, no sadness from the Philadelphia Eagles, because we've been through it twice in 2 years. So cry me a river. You enjoy rebuilding from scratch, and let's see how good y'all want to run around and talk about how good Jared Goff is. Let's see how good Jared Goff is when he's got a new OC next year. Huh? Let's see. See if y'all gonna still be disrespectful and put him above Jalen Hurts.
Trash.
Let's see. We gonna see. Why? What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, similar to what you alluded to previously, look at Jared Goff and some of the other QBs that lost over this weekend and last weekend. Most of these QBs that are throwing for 300 yards, they get in turnovers. They're losing these games. Look at some of these other quarterbacks that are winning these games. Talk about Patty Mahomes and a couple of the other ones we're going to talk about. They're getting like 180-yard, little less than 200-yard games, maybe a touchdown or two, 0 turnovers. This is exactly how you want your QB to be playing in the postseason. I mean, Jane Daniels, he had an amazing game. I mean, especially for a rookie to come in and be winning in the playoffs like he is. The Lions just weren't sticking to their game plan. And I understand they got down, so they want to mix in more passing, but I think they went a little overboard with it because the Lions have been a mainly run first team most of the season here. Like they had 2 1,000-yard rushers, I'm pretty sure. And they kind of had to go away from that. And that's where they had Jared Goff throwing more and more and more. And that's where the issues happen. And we saw it with Lamar, which we'll talk about. But you need a game manager QB who's able to utilize running the ball and then make those smart plays and not, try to play hero ball or do too much. And that's exactly why Jalen is getting the criticism for some reason, because Jalen does that all the time. Whereas you see like Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen doing like 300-yard games, like every other week type sort of thing. But you see what kind of QB wins in the postseason here. And that's a kind of a pattern you see through all these teams that are winning most of the time. And I think that's a big reason why the Lions lost here, is because you had to lean on Jared Goff a little bit more than you normally do.
Diva?
I'm just going to say the Lions are who we thought they were.
Same as the Vikings.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they've done this 2 years in a row. So they are exactly who we thought they were. And you want to crown them. Period.
Didn't let them off the hook this time.
Didn't let them off the hook. I don't understand why everybody thinks Jared Goff is a good quarterback. Okay, this is the same Jared Goff that was at the Rams that y'all traded Matthew Stafford for. Now he over there semi-balling with the Rams when he did ball with y'all. But y'all just can't get out of that rut. Like, I don't know. You're playing better than you have the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. You are. But you just can't make it out of that rut. I don't know maybe it's just a curse on y'all. Maybe Eminem done curse. I don't know what it is.
The Marshall curse.
Yeah, it's the Marshall. It's the 8 Mile curse. I don't know. But I had a feeling that they were going to go in here and lose. That just seems to be their thing lately. And then I knew it was over once Jared Goff got hit by Love, of course, which is the same guy that hit Jalen Hurts and had a concussion. It's mighty funny how he went concussion protocol and came right back in. But anyway,
got his head knocked off on that replay, it looked like.
You know what I'm saying? Like he got hit in the chin with the helmet. All right.
The helmet's like sideways.
Right. Okay. And he was looking all wobbly, but I digress. Came right back out there and still did not do what he was supposed to do. That is y'all's quarterback, Jared Goff, that y'all say is, I don't know, y'all give this man high praise. Why? I don't know. But they did move away from the running game. But I guess they felt like once Washington kept, because I mean, Washington was coming down the field back to back to back. Terry Scary was out there balling. Robinson was out there balling. And I guess they felt like in order for them to stay in the game, that they had to throw the ball because it was shot after shot. Like they was first going down the field back and forth. I think Washington had either a fumble or interception. Then Jared Goff threw like 2. So I think that's the reason why they got away from the running game. But what I think is funny is one of the coordinators last week talking about no, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't interviewing. As soon as they lose, you're like, yeah, let me go interview with Dallas. Like, really? Like, bro,
Yeah, Ben
like,
Johnson and Aaron Glenn, they both gone.
Yep. So yeah, I kind of expected that. I mean, I ain't really think they was gonna get blown out like that. And I thought maybe that, platform is a little too big for Jaden Daniels, but I mean, he showed up and he showed out. And I think another thing is they ain't have no spy on him. Like you gotta have at least a spy on him sometime because he gonna run all over you. Like he's a running quarterback.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not used to that, because they're not used to playing. I mean, Jared Goff is a pocket passer, so he's not gonna be running around. So they're not really used to that. And I just think they got ahead of themselves. Huh?
Apparently we aren't either.
Well, I mean, we did the first game. We was all right until GJ got kicked out, and then Jalen was gone, and the whole momentum was gone. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is with them. Keeps us from having to go on a Ford Field. So thank you, Commanders.
Yeah, true. Just to branch off to what you said though about the coaches, I still think it's BS that they're allowed to interview during a playoff run and everything.
That's why we can't get. That's why we up there looking crazy.
I hate it. Like you should wait until that team's playoff run is over to interview them.
It's the same thing they did with Gannon.
Ben Johnson said, "I waited till the Monday after we lost." Yeah. And Eric Glenn said, "I waited till the Tuesday after we lost."
Well, Kellen Moore ain't been waiting. That mother been on interviews and trying to sit up there and call plays and ain't been doing nothing.
You know what? Let them call the plays. Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni, both of y'all get taped up in the closet. Let them call the plays. How about that?
I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? I mean, it would be nice to have some continuity and have Kellen Moore back, next year. But at the same time, I'm like, each week, just some certain decisions. I don't know if they're Nick or Kellen Moore, but if it is Kellen Moore, it's like maybe we should need another OC. See what?
Ain't got no balls for me.
And if it's Nick, then why is Kellen Moore allowing him to do that?
That's why I said Kellen ain't got enough balls because he's not gonna go tell Nick to sit down and shut up somewhere. Yeah, he ain't like Steichen.
He ain't gonna tell him
no his role. Steichen was gonna get fired, y'all. I was hoping.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Maybe Steichen to get fired and come back to Philly. Come on, man.
They're like, no, he comes back 2025.
They're like, no, I'm like, but it's still not too late to fire him. I'm just saying.
I was looking like,
get him, please.
We'll give you a 3rd round conditional pick.
Steichen back, please.
Oh dang, we got a slew of comments over here. People is I know that's right. Showing us some love.
I just wanted to get through the first 2 games, and then we gonna do something that we enjoy doing, and that's interacting. So let's get to the interactions, y'all. Let me get back up into the top because we do got a lot of them. I got to get it at the top of them. So Haseen says, "You guys ready for Saturday night's main event on Peacock and NBC this Saturday night?"
Oh, it's Sunday, my guy. But yeah, we ready.
Nah, well, he's talking about wrestling. And he says, and we're ready for the Rumble on Peacock next month. So Haseen, catch me Monday nights, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Real Play Callers on YouTube. We all about the wrestling there. And we'll talk to you about all of that. We'll be previewing the Royal Rumble really soon. So check me out over there. But I appreciate you tuning in. And clearly you can check me out over there because you know what else I do. So I appreciate you for checking out over there too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then we got Damien. Damien is our resident Bears fan, just so y'all know. Damien says, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but with how the refs and NFL is treating the Chiefs, I'm beginning to think that it is scripted.
Good point.
Anything's possible. Pat says, just want to let y'all know Wade Phillips' daughter was the woman from the My Chemical Romance music video, Helena.
Oh, dang. I didn't know that.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I didn't know that. Appreciate that little info, Pat.
Yeah. It's always good to get some new info we didn't have. It's a lot here, y'all. Just give us a second here. So
Unk in the building.
In the building. Says they are who we thought they were.
Yep.
And with that, I want to go ahead and bring this out. Right? I want to go ahead and bring this out. I think y'all know what it is.
Yeah,
but I want to bring this out. I know one person that wanted to see this for sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring this out since we're talking about it. We had 2 references. Once we get 2 references, I feel like it needs to happen. Let's go.
Or who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
The angry kid walk off.
Thanks, Coach.
Gets me every time, y'all. The angry kid walk off gets me every time.
You told that nerd stand up.
Yes, he did.
He smacked the hell out of that thing.
He did.
Damien's crazy, but talking about Mufasa dies at some point. Laugh out loud.
Listen, we hoping. Hope somebody break that boy in half. You hear me?
Mufasa done. They threw him off the
I kept
cliff,
seeing
though.
that, like people saying that, like if they're gonna keep throwing flags on, like for hitting Pat Mahomes, just someone needs to just take it and just deck him, just hit him hard at one of these points. If they're gonna throw a flag anyway, just lay one on him.
Take him out.
Yeah.
So Pat R says the Rams were a center who understood pass protection away from beating the Eagles. Pat also says Jalen Carter is a dude, but it's easy to crush QBs when the center doesn't understand where to slide. And I know Diva gonna say something.
First of all, Jalen said he read through all of they offensive plays or coordinations that they had, and that's why he was able to get that sack because he read straight through it. Like he said, I read the play. Boy is smart. Like he reads the offense. That's how you get that sack is reading the offense.
And Pat said literally what Milano did against Lamar. So I'm gonna say this. No matter of fact, why do you have any thoughts for Pat before I say Pat? Yeah, anything you want to say first?
Man, I don't think the center is going to make a difference in this game. So, I mean, you can say the same thing about Eagles stuff too. I mean, Isaiah Rodgers catches that interception. What happens if Cooper DeJean catches that interception? If AJ Brown catches that, pass to go down to the 1 yard line, like there's so many ifs and buts. Like, what if it didn't snow? Like, I don't know. You can say that about anything. It's not going to change anything. I still think even if they had a decent center, the Eagles still going to come out on top in this game. It's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I say I say this when it's a close game, if you want to make the argument for the other team, that's the way you go. You say, oh, if they had a center who understood pass protection, blah blah blah. There isn't a team who keeps Jalen Carter out of their backfield. I don't care who you have at center. There isn't a team who keeps him out of their backfield. Now there are some games where he gets more sacks than others, but there's no one that keeps him out of that backfield. Jalen Carter is going to get his. He's going to pressure your quarterback. He's going to attack your quarterback. And as Diva said, this is a man who doesn't just go out there to play on his raw talent. This is a guy who reads. This is a guy who sits down with his defensive line coach as well as his DC and learns. He wants to be great. He knows he's not great yet, but he understands how to get on the path for greatness. He wants that. Those are guys that are hard to stop no matter who's playing them. I mean, I'm not saying that maybe a player or two doesn't change if they have a different guy at center, but I don't think any of that mattered. I think if we had Quinyon Mitchell, the game's not even close.
Yeah. Or
Kobe
Dean.
Yeah, we had Kobe Dean.
Yeah.
These are two guys who Kobe Dean didn't play a snap, and Quinyon Mitchell only played a few snaps.
Or BG. Let it would have been BG.
Yeah, BG that was the game here he's eaten. Was the Rams game before he got hurt.
We had 3 players that were pivotal in the first matchup that did not play or played very minimal minutes in that game. So, I mean, we could say that the other way too.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Damien says it's the Kid Rock curse. Laugh out loud.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
rock
one.
With that. I can.
That's
rock
the
with
one.
I can rock with that. Damien says Lion fans so salty they call him Ben Johnson, Osama Ben Johnson.
Oh, that's messed up, man. So bad. Why you gotta do that, man, like that?
Man, they lost because of Damien. Because Damien was going in on him last week.
He really was. Says 13 degrees outside, so you know I got my cup.
Oh, we know you like
cup. You know some fire in that
you don't
cup.
feel that 13 degrees.
Yeah, it might be some different fire in that cup this week. Damian then hits us with a rolling on the floor laugh and a laugh. And I'm putting that out there for those who are watching on 502 Angel Radio. They are not able to see it live. So then Pat hits us with a couple of what ifs, what if, then what if, then what if. Exactly. I mean, it's what if. Like, you know, we taking all wins.
Yeah, that's the only thing that matters, man.
That's it.
With the play breakdown early, but we'll still go ahead and talk about it. He says, with Cosme out at right guard for the Commanders, I think we should play a 5-man D-line to force the backup to block Jalen Carter one-on-one. Then he tells us what's in the cup tonight.
Blackberry moonshine. Oh, he on that moonshine. Oh.
Got him out here scheming defensive fronts.
Playing the game.
Ooh, that moonshine, boy, that put some hair on your chest. If you don't got none, you gonna get some of that moonshine.
First man
my
in the family.
Keep some moonshine up under there, up under the cabinet, honey. You know what that clear? You be like, don't touch that. That's that close stuff. Yeah, we know, pops.
It's a whole nother story. There's no lies told. No lies told. Oh boy. Oh man, I'm Chewbacca.
We know. We know.
I am not mad at you. Yeah. But somebody told me that they have a really good peach, the Old Smoky Mountain, which is what I think you got. Somebody told me the peach one is really good from what I was told.
I've heard that too.
I was also told that it's a chocolate one. That I was told you have to keep it in the refrigerator. I was told that one mixes really well with a lot of different things that are like sweet drinks. That's what I was told. Right. And I was also told that they got one with cherries in it, and the cherries make it like a really strong flavor. I was told that was good as well. And I was told they have like a whole flavor line of different ones. I was told a lot of them are really good from what I was told. What I was told.
Well, you know, those they sold in the store, yeah. But you know, we used to get the ones from back in the back. So it put some hair on your chest.
You know, there used to be one that went through the radiator.
Yeah.
The person who's drinking the country. The corn one that went through the radiator.
That corn liquor. That's what we used to call it back. It's that corn liquor.
Corn liquor. Mm-hmm. And they used to put it in that. For those of you who will paint the picture, remember back in the day, you used to get the glass gallon apple juice jars with the white top. That every time you screwed it on, open it. That's where they used to put the corn liquor. From what I was told.
Yeah. You know, now it's distilled, so it's not as whew. But back in the day, oh no, you had to be a G to drink that.
Yeah. Now I was told what they have now, even though it has a distilling process, it still is strong. Again, from what I was told.
Well, it's moonshine. It's gonna be strong, but it's not gonna be as strong as that hand homemade.
It don't put that it don't take away it don't put an extra layer of fluff inside your throat.
That's that Mark to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You drink it.
Yeah.
What I used to see, you know. It's all what I saw. Playmaker says, congratulations, Eagles and Eagles Elite. Y'all were the better team.
Playmaker. Where you been, my boy?
Appreciate that, Playmaker. See, Playmaker is one of the guys I like because, you know, of course he's disappointed. He's a Rams fan. They lost. Of course he's disappointed. But do he come on here and be like, oh, y'all wouldn't have won if you didn't get this player, if we had this player hurt, or if this play went against us, or, you know, we just, hey, we had the opportunity, just like y'all did. We didn't get the job done. Respect. If it went the other way, we'll be talking about that this week. That's how it goes. So shout out to you, Playmakers. Says mason jar.
Mason jar.
Yeah.
Now I heard that the Old Smoky comes in the mason jar. That's what I heard. I heard you can find some of them at the local ABC store. That's what I was told. Says I got this from a buddy from Mississippi. Oh
man,
that's a real deal.
You got that. Yeah, you got that. I believe if I remember correctly, when you used to look under the cabinet, sister, I believe that's that yellow corn liquor.
That's that yellow, because that came from the woods. That came from the sticks. Not even the woods, the
That
sticks.
came from somebody's old radiator.
Yeah.
Out there in the boonies.
Out there in the boonies. They might have still had a little bit of radiator fluid in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Why Uncle over there look like Chewbacca.
Yeah. Say he Chewbacca. That's why. He drinking that fire liquid. He drinking that body fertilizer.
Light it on fire. Don't get it too close to the flame.
Uncle be outside with a t-shirt and some shorts on and be good right now.
Sweating like I don't know what.
Anybody else look so warm right now?
Sweating like I don't know what. No, he's out there in the deer swamp. We know.
Sunday. We'll start with the Ravens-Bills. So we're going to talk about us last. Ravens-Bills. All I'm going to say is I know there was interceptions, turnovers early in the game. To me, Mark Andrews lost that game for his team. I don't care what else y'all got to say. You're not going to convince me no differently. Fumble on the next to last drive when you're moving the ball down the field on a precise throw from your quarterback. You got to hold on to that ball. But things happen with that one. You lose by 2 points. Guess why they lost by 2, y'all? Which y'all like to know? Because number one, they got the Bills got, I can't remember if it was a touchdown or field goal after the Ravens turnover, Mark Andrews fumble. Come back down. The Ravens get the ball, they get it downfield. Lamar Jackson with a bunny to Mark Andrews, who drops it for the 2-point conversion to tie the game and send it to overtime. Drops it right in his chest, drops it. Ravens going home. Bills get a chance to try to beat the Kansas City Refer Chiefs. I'm gonna start calling the Refer Chiefs.
I mean, they beat them one time.
Or
But I don't know about
the Kansas City Chieferees. I'm gonna call them the Chieferees. There we go. But yeah, that's that game. Diva, what were you saying?
They beat them one time, but I don't know about this game. This game is special, so they're gonna cheat their way in. So I don't know about that.
That part.
Yeah. Bills can beat them somehow during the regular season, but just not during them playoffs.
Mm-mm.
They got
we
a
know
little
why
extra
not during
help
the
there
playoffs.
on them sidelines. Yeah.
Nobody beat them mother suckers during the playoffs.
Nope.
That's why they're
Super
the
Bowl
Chieferees.
either.
Many have
Super
tried.
Bowl?
No, the playoffs in general, including the Super Bowl. The Chieferees.
The only one to beat him was Tom Brady, the only person that the rest like more.
Ironically.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So game of the week for us. 28-22, Philadelphia Eagles over the Rams. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut my mouth for once. Diva and Wyatt, what are y'all thoughts on this game? I'm going to shut my mouth for once.
Go ahead, Wyatt.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we all kind of expected a sloppy snow game. It didn't come until a little bit later during the game, though. But offense definitely had some bigger plays. Could have been bigger if the receivers would have been able to catch them. Some guys out there putting in harm's way a little bit. I was a little worried about Smitty getting creamed on that middle route. I don't understand why there was no flag on that play, because the second hit was completely unnecessary. He was already being brought down. But I mean, the offense, I understand people's complaints about the passing and everything, but I mean, he's making the plays that are needed when they're needed. But I totally understand the vanilla concepts that are being run and them trying to run these drawn out plays that just take way too long to develop, and they're not scheming people open properly. This is something we've been talking about all season long. How, why do you have Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and you can't get just one of those people open on any single route? It doesn't make much sense. And I don't know if this is just a scheme thing. I don't know if it's Jalen Hurts at the line, maybe checking to something else, or he's just not seeing these guys open. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it definitely needs to be fixed, because I understand there not many teams can stop Saquon. Many have tried, few have actually been able to do it. I think the only ones that really successfully somewhat did it were the Steelers. Definitely not the Washington Commanders. But say if they are able to stop him on first or second down, you're going to have to make a big pass play. And I mean, they have been able to do that when the time has come, but when you actually need to lean on that passing game a little bit, that's where things maybe kind of get a little messy. It seems like that's where there's a little bit inconsistency what that comes into play here as far as the play calling goes. And I mean, definitely some weird decisions were made once Jalen got hurt. Them dropping back the pass multiple times right after that when you should have been running it, and you're putting Jalen in harm's way and getting the safety. Like, you're just not looking out for the best interest of your QB at that point in time. Like, I understand you don't want to get the safety, but you have Saquon Barkley right there that could have easily got you a couple yards to get you further away from the end zone. You don't have to risk your quarterback. And I mean, I understand it's a snow game. Your plans kind of go out the window with that. You're not going to be able to do exactly what you want to do. But, I mean, you got to make something happen as far as the pass game goes. I mean, we didn't even see any passes go for, like, Jahan Dotson or anything like this. Barely even really got to see Smitty or AJ get in the game. I mean, they threw him a couple balls, but throughout the rest, whenever it really started snowing, we didn't really see too much action as far as that goes. They really leaned on Saquon, which is what they've been doing all year. But I know people are saying that you can't win like that consistently, but we've been proving them wrong. But with these huge games like we have, this week and then possibly the Super Bowl, you may have to get that passing game a little bit, going a little bit more. And it seems like they are somewhat able to turn it on, especially with the Steelers game and the Bengals game and whatever. But you shouldn't have to wait until the other team stops you on the run game. You should be able to turn that on whenever you want. And it seems like they kind of, stall with certain drives until they're able to get it going again, where I feel like you have the playbook. Why can't you get that passing game going whenever you need it to? It seems like they start having these stalls like for one or two drives, and then they're like, oh, okay, we figured it out now. Whereas, like, if we've been at it long enough during the season, you should already have these plays ready to go in your back pocket, and just for some reason they're not being executed the right way. I don't know if it's the routes. I don't know if it's the receivers or Jalen, because Jalen is certainly holding on to that ball way too damn long. We've been saying it all season long. And it's even more true in this game. I understand it's a snow game, but you got to throw that ball away. You cannot be holding on to that ball and just taking these sacks or running backwards and sliding and losing 6 yards. Like, it just doesn't make any sense why
fumbling the ball.
And fumbling the ball. We were lucky we were able to get that ball back, but I understand you don't want to risk the turnovers. Maybe that's why they don't have him throwing nearly as much, is because they don't want to risk the turnovers. But you got to throw that ball away. You can't be losing 6 yards, 5 yards, and then that pretty much ruins the drive for us. Whether if it's a sack or just these stupid penalties that we have each and every week that they don't for some reason get cleaned up, either like a man downfield or someone jumping off sides. It's always something, and it's always these drive killers where they're never able to kind of get back, into a rhythm as soon as one of these penalties happen. And I think that's the only thing that may be holding the Eagles back from, going to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl, is self-inflicted wounds more than the other team itself. But I mean, like I said, it's hard to go into a snow game and execute everything you really wanted to do because it's unpredictable. You don't know how things are going to pan out. But I mean, with the way the game went, obviously a couple field goals would have made it less stressful at the end, like I talked about earlier, but they were able to get the job done. They did exactly what they needed to win. And I think even with Jalen being pretty immobile, he was only able to turn around and hand the ball off, really. He was able to get it done there in that last quarter or so. So, I mean, it was a good win for the Birds, but I definitely think they're going and watching this tape and trying to fix a lot of stuff from this, though.
I'm just tired of every week Jalen has to overcome bad play calling. And you can tell when he's getting play calls from two different people. You can tell when some games where he's only getting one from Kellen Moore. Example, when we played Washington a few weeks ago and he got hurt. Started off really well, got the touchdown the first 2-3 minutes of the game. But when you have Nick Sirianni in there meddling, that throws Jalen off his game. I don't think he likes it, but he's not going to stand up and say anything. And that's where you see him holding the ball too long. You see him, running backwards instead of running forwards, or moving bilateral in the pocket. Like, that whole rolling backwards it just kills me. And that's when you get sacked, you get hurt, and you fumble the ball. Stop rolling backwards. And another thing that I talked to my brother about was a few of the plays that I saw Saquon run. Why are you constantly having him run to the right when the left is open? Now, when he doubled back, was running to the right, double back, and went to the left, that's when he got one of the touchdowns because the left was wide open. Like, why do you keep having him run to the right side of the field when the left be wide open? Like, boy probably could have had 20 touchdowns going to the left because it's wide open. I don't understand that. I don't understand the vanilla, let's just throw the ball in there and hope AJ or Devontae catch it. Like, why aren't you scheming them open? Like, we don't use the middle of the field. Like, you can have them cut, go to the middle of the field. You can use curl routes. You can do a plethora of things. And you wonder why AJ is holding the ball. A plethora. You hear me? And you wonder why he's holding the ball because he's waiting for somebody to get open because y'all just want him to sling the ball in the air instead of scheming these players open for him to throw it to. Like, it's not making any sense. I don't know if that's Kellen not being more creative or Nick not letting him be more creative, but that's why we can't never have a sustainable offensive play. Just like that play when he got sacked for the safety. Why would you have him sit there and hold the ball in the end zone? All you had to do was hand to Saquon to get, who cares if he got 2 or 3 yards? He would have pushed us out of the safety zone. You know, like, that's what most people do. Or you could have threw a little short pass to Saquon or Gainwell. Like, I barely even saw Gainwell this game. You ran the dog, you know what, out of Saquon. Like, Gainwell's actually been playing well. So you could have used him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not understanding why we can't be more creative and help Jalen get these players open so he's not just standing there holding the ball for 30,000 years like he's Tom Brady. And the O-line really wasn't blocking. I don't know. I mean, it was a snow game. A lot of them said they liked it. Some of them said they didn't. A lot of them was cold. There was ice under their feet. So I get it. But when you knew this game was coming, you had a whole week knowing this game was coming. So why wasn't y'all planning how to play in the snow and what plays to call in the snow if it got really bad? Like, it all comes down to creative thinking and understanding what you need to do. And that's what we don't do. Now, on the other end of the ball, we played great. We did have some moments of breaking down when we didn't tackle. We were giving too much yardage, but we always adjust. That's one thing I can say about Vic and them boys. They will adjust. The other side of the ball, we just be holding our breath. But that defense will adjust. And they definitely adjusted the last few minutes of the game. Because if they did not adjust, we would have lost that game. Okay? Thanks to the coaching and Jake Elliott missing 2 important field goals. Maybe we should go for 2 points. Because when he right there at that goal post, it just does not go through. Give him about 40 yards, 30. But right there at that goalpost, it's not good for Jake, okay? So maybe we need to go for 2 here and there. But you just got to be creative, man. And going into this game, get creative or just go back and look at the film and do what you did when you played them the first and second time. So please do better this week.
Yeah. I feel like we would be able to kill teams with play action if they actually utilized it more.
I don't think they know what play action is. Jalen do, but he don't be wanting to use it.
Play action.
Talking play action?
All right. We got a couple more comments.
I just want to run the ball.
Right.
Pretty much. So Playmaker says, Diva, I'm a busy man. Laugh out loud. Want to let you know. Unc says, out there in the swamp. Unc got some blueberry molasses in his stuff. That's what he got. So Playmaker says, I do ask for one favor and Cool can share it. I'd be more than happy to share the favor that Playmaker asked me. So Playmaker messaged me. Congratulations. So later on, he said, do me one favor. So I'm like, what's up? He says, win the Super Bowl. So I said, that's a favor we trying to do for you, dog. We trying to. I think I just said we trying, but that's what I was thinking in my mind. You know
we trying.
Our darndest. We might need everybody to get their funds up so that we can try to pay the refs though, so they'll call the game even.
Yeah,
they don't
we
even
need
have
to
to
go
call
fund me
it
set up.
call it even. You know, we might have to give a few thousand for that. So you know, we might have to get a GoFundMe for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Damien says, "Hey, playmaker, since y'all not doing anything for a while, let us get Cooper Cup off y'all hands." Laugh out loud. Damien does say Bateman and Andrews lost them that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bateman. Yeah, he dropped a few key passes too.
Yeah, as long as you include Andrews, I'm good. Damien says, "This is all capital letters. Jalen, stop watching Caleb Williams." Laugh out loud. The decision making is about the same, unfortunately. Playmaker says, "I'll deal with Damien on Monday." Yes, he will. Yes, he will. He is my co-host on Monarchs of Wrestling, and he will deal with Damien on Monday. That will happen. And I'm there for it, and I will allow him time in case he needs it. That's right. All right, y'all. So we're gonna do a consensus here. We gonna control the show together. Do y'all want to do a commercial break and get into the games, or y'all just want to get into the games? What y'all want to do?
Let's get into these games.
Yeah.
There we have it. Limited commercials today, y'all. Shout out 502 Angel Radio. Limited commercials. But it's time to get 2 more games left, y'all. 2 more. Not 3, not 4, not 5. Not 1, but 2. Before the big one.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on who we just told you won, I think you guys may be able to figure out what's happening. NFC Championship game is at 3 p.m. AFC Championship game is at 6:30 p.m. So at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, January 26th, no more Saturday games, on Sunday, January 26th, Washington Commanders make their second trip this season to Lincoln Financial Field to play our Philadelphia Eagles for the 3rd time this season. And just so y'all know, I already got everything lined up. Let's go. Diva, ladies first on this. I know we don't do that all the time, but ladies first on this.
I mean, I think I kind of alluded to it, previously, that just do what you did the first 2 games. Especially the offense. Do what you did the last game before Jalen got knocked out. I mean, we went down the field. I think we got the ball first, went down the field, scored. We was on a good drive when he got hit by Love, the same one that hit Jared Goff. He a dirty player. Y'all better knock his head off. You know what I'm saying?
Keep an eye on him.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just maintain possession of the ball. Play smart, play hard. And, Jalen, I mean, I know they was asking him about his knee or whatever. And, he just said he'd been taking it day by day, but things are getting better. So, like I said, man, just throw the ball away. Don't keep risking yourself for any kind of injury. Throw the ball away or run. It's one of those 2 things. If nobody's open, can't get nobody open, throw it away or run. That's it. Please do not be out there trying to hold that ball and they rush you from that left side, because that is where you're weak at and that's where you get tackled at. All right, my boy. You're right. I know Saquon gonna get off and do his thing. AJ, I need for you to show up and show out this week, my boy. I know you've been blocking and you said the numbers really don't matter. And, we know that you're always open. So be open. Be very open. All right. Okay. Smitty, need for you to be very open, my boy, and stay out of double coverage. Okay. Because you've been getting tore up lately and we don't need you out. So stay out of double coverage. Catch the ball. I would like to see Jahan Dotson get a few touches. I would like to see, the ball just spread equally. Like AJ, Devontae, Jahan, Goddard, Calcaterra, and they're running the ball. Defense, y'all have played outstanding against Washington. Besides the second half when CJ went out and and Jalen was gone. Y'all just lost all your little mojo. So hopefully we don't have no serious injuries or ejections this game, and y'all can ball out. I know Jalen Carter said they was gonna go in there and watch film from when they played him the last 2 times and figure it out. I feel like Vic Fangio is gonna have a really good filming session and a really good game with calling plays and adjusting where he needs to, because he's played them very well. So just go out there and be dogs. Like, we trying to be violent. This is win or go home. You know what I'm saying? And if we win this game, we are 1 game away from that Super Bowl. And I know that's what y'all want, because that's what we wanted. We are ring chasing. We are hunting. And this is a Philly thing. Let's get it.
On you, Wyatt.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I can say it much better than that, but the Commanders, oddly enough, the only thing that I only really have some worries about are the QB runs on both sides, with the Eagles and with Washington. Washington, I think the secondary is going to be able to handle the wide receivers and everything for the most part, like they have been, and creating turnovers like they have been in these last 2 matchups. I think the real thing is going to be Jaden Daniels and his mobility. I know he rolls out to the right most of the time. We're going to have Nolan Smith busy looking after him. But that's the only thing that really worries me about Washington, is just Jaden Daniels' mobility and able to extend the play. And on our side, what's the mobility going to be like for Jalen Hurts with that knee? We have no clue. And as Cole talked about earlier, we're probably not going to know anything until game day, because you know how the Eagles are. They have gamesmanship. They're going to try to make Washington seem like Jalen is probably more hurt than he actually is. He was limited today. He's saying that he's going to be out there. He's going to be available, but nobody really knows what he's going to be like. Is he going to be a statue? Is he going to have to be that pocket passer, or is he going to be able to, move around, roll out, maybe make some runs? I think Jalen, because of how tough he is and how much he wants to go out and help this team win, I think he's going to try to run or move about the pocket or roll out. I think he's going to try to do as much as possible, even though his body may not tell him to do that. I think he's going to try to play through the pain and try to make some runs if he wants to. But I mean, I think it's going to come down to Saquon. I mean, he's been able to run over Washington these past couple times. And I think as long as the O-line is able to, give the protection for Jalen that he needs, because as Diva talked about, they weren't that great in the last game. They weren't even that great, impressive against Green Bay, even with the O-line, as far as pass protection goes. And I mean, that can also be a thing against Hurts too, for holding on the ball a little bit too long, but because he is given like 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket. But the O-line definitely needs to give him a little bit better protection, because they are letting some of those defensive linemen slip in untouched at certain times, and it's pretty concerning, especially when you have Jalen, who most likely is going to have a knee brace on. You're going to want to protect him as much as possible. So please, if you're going to utilize a pass game, do some slants, do some shorter routes, some play action if you need to utilize that a little bit more. Maybe the RPO if Jalen can move a little bit. Do some things that maybe you haven't done before, because now's the time. Like these next 2 games, if they are able to move on, this is where you really got to open it up and show what's in the playbook, maybe stuff that you haven't done before. And I understand you want to utilize Saquon to pretty much most of the game. He's the bell cow back. He's probably going to have 150 yards, maybe 2 if they utilize him even more, and we don't see enough of Kenny Gainwell. But you got to utilize some passing in there as well. I mean, how many yards did AJ have these last 2 games? It was like 20 something, 30 something yards, not much. So, I mean, you want to get these guys going as well, because say you do win this game and you go into a Super Bowl, you don't want these guys rusty by any means. You want to get these guys receptions. You want to get them in game action. You want to get those guys ready, whether it's for this game or the next game. So, I mean, I think the tools are all there. I think the players are all there. We're decently healthy compared to other teams in the league as of right now at this part of the season. I don't think there's any reason that the Birds can't go into this game, especially at home in the Linc, and pull out a convincing win. I mean, it's a divisional game, so it could be a well-fought battle, but I think the Birds are going to come out here and surprise some people, and I think it's going to be a decent win over these Commanders.
So apparently the touchdown run to the right side was an audible by Jalen Hurts. Play was supposed to go to the left. What he saw was The left side of the line was stacked with the heavier defenders. The way they had the defense was set up, he could see that Saquon should be able to bust it to the right side with less obstacles. And the guys were there were smaller guys, so it would be easier for him to break with his power through them. Play got off without a hitch. It was a big play. It's all well and good. That means that QB1 can call audibles. So QB1, this is for you. They've already talked to the coaches. They already said what needs to happen with the players. So I'm not going to say and repeat all that. I need you to put this game on your back. I know your legs hurt. You got to brace. I need you to put this game on your back and that brace leg. Give me a couple of runs. Just take off. Get what you can get and get down before you get hit. I also need you to be what you were in the first game where you were decisive. This is one of the games where I went back and looked at some of your plays from. Because I went and watched some of your plays from these two games just, to remember what you were doing. Be decisive. I saw you start off the game against the Rams better and then fall off. I saw you do the same thing last week. So I'm going to need you to start off good. I'm going to need you to stay good. Whatever's happening you on the sidelines has been doing, don't do that. Whatever thing you've gotten into, do something different. Go sit beside AJ, ask him about the book or something. Do something different. Because we need you to be available to make plays. I'm not asking you to sit out there and make 1,000 plays. I'm not asking you to run for 50 or 100 yards. But when it's there, take it, get down, get us first downs, manage the team, manage the game. And if the opportunities are there, yeah, go for plays. But there's this thing called slants, crossing routes, hook routes, curl routes. Those things work. They can get you first downs. No, they may not get you 20, 30 yards every time, but they can get you first downs. Be comfortable and just, hey, if I got to have 25 completions for 175 yards, cool. We win the game. Throw the ball to your running backs when they're there as well. And you need to go into the office with your offensive coordinator and your head coach, sit down, bring in AJ, and close the door. And y'all need to get them right for these next two games. Because apparently both of them have a hand in the offense, so both of them need to be included in the conversation. And the conversation needs to be, you going to be better or we're going to jump y'all, period. We had the Super Bowl. Like, y'all don't keep doing this mess y'all been doing. We might have to catch y'all behind the woodshed after the game. Win or lose. Right. Especially if we lose.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, let Kellen Moore do his job. If you see a player or two that you feel like, oh, I want you to run here, I want you to throw here, that should be the extent of you meddling in offense. I want you to go for it on fourth if it's 4th and 3 or less. If it's 3rd down and 5, and it's a game where we haven't been running the ball well, what I'd like for you to do is something called a tush push on 3rd down, and then do it again on 4th down. That's what I'd like for you to do. We get a 2nd and 5, right? And we should be able to run the ball, get a couple of yards on 3rd. We should be able to run the ball, get a couple of yards on 4th if we're using the tush push. Do what you have to do to win, but only because now we're deep in the season and it's serious. Connections with the right players. Jalen Hurts, you got to be on point, my guy. There's been some times where you've been a little bit off. We can't have that this time of season. That's for early in the season. That's for when you first came back. We gave you some grace these past 2 games. And I don't even care about the numbers. I just care about you managing the football because you touch the ball every play on offense. There's only one player that touches the ball every play. Well, actually 2, because the center does as well. We need you to make plays, whether it's with your arms, with your brains, whatever. You've shown that you can audible. That's very important. There's a lot of times I felt like audible should have happened, or maybe you audible into something that didn't work, and that's okay. Audible, read your defense. Decide your routes, make decisive plays. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If you make a decisive, correct read and somehow somebody comes up with a great play and gets a turnover, it is what it is. If you hold the ball and you get hit again and hurt your other leg, hurt your arm, hurt your shoulder, hurt your abdomen, and you can't play, we don't need that. We need you. And all the people sitting here say we don't need Jalen Hurts. Stop hanging out with Tony Khan in the powder room. We need Jalen Hurts, period. That guy's important to this team's success. The statistics might not show it, but the leadership does.
And that win column does.
Sure do. You wouldn't have got there without him in 2022 in Station.
Mm-hmm.
And in this Commanders game, only other thing I want to say, and I ain't saying nothing about last week game because I ain't only talk about last week. It's done. It was ugly, but we won. For the Commanders, you know what they're going to do. You've seen them twice. You know you got to do out there is headhunting. So, you know, I believe there's a good book that says do unto others as they do unto you. They ain't the Bible, but you know the book. Do unto others as they do unto you. So in that book, let's take a lesson from said book. And let's say, since you want to run around headhunt people, we got a backup lineman that doesn't play a lot of minutes. Right? But he's nasty. Why don't we throw him in for a player too? Why don't we let you feel what you've been doing to other people? Why don't we do unto you as you have done unto others? Just saying. You see this, Eagles? I'm not saying do anything. Just hypothetically speaking, could happen. Run the ball. You've got 3 backs. You're not going to use Shipley. We get it. You're not going to lose Shipley unless you're down by 3 touchdowns or up by 3 touchdowns at the end of the game. We think that's garbage, but we get it. So if that's the case, at least give Gainwell some run. Why we can't get 25 from Saquon and 10 from Gainwell? It's 35. It's very simple. Gainwell can catch the ball out of the backfield too, get you a couple yards. He's a much better player this year than he was last year. I acknowledge that.
Yeah,
I wanted the man cut. I was wrong.
Same.
I apologize.
Breaking off big plays when he plays now.
Yeah.
I mean, you running behind Saquon, you can't be running. You got to be doing something.
Yeah, I apologize. Gainwell, because I gave you a lot of grief, and last year deserved it, but you did not deserve it this year. So I apologize to you for that, Mr. Gainwell.
That's why you are Gainwell, not Gainless this year.
Yes, that's why we don't call you Gainless anymore. And defense. Put the wood on Jaden Daniels. No Diddy.
Yeah.
That's it. And Jay Elie, make them dad blame extra points and them field goals, sir.
Please.
We need every
You got one job.
Stop it.
I know I need for y'all to really go lay Jaden Daniels out because this fool talking about some keep the main thing, and we know who that come from. Who does that come from?
Mm-hmm.
You're not Jalen Hurts, buddy. Sorry.
You trying to be hurt so bad.
Me taking my dude's quotes talking about some keep the main thing, That's why that's why my face was screwed earlier because I seen that. Y'all go lay that dude out. Go lay him out.
All right, so we got a couple of comments here before we get to the other game. Oh, Lord. Damian says, I want Eagles to win, but at the same time, I want Jaden Daniels to be the first rookie to win the Super Bowl, even though I hate Washington. Washington wins.
Jaden Daniels ain't about to win. Taking my quarterback's quote.
Nick says, time to put the Atari stick controller down and start coaching. Yeah, Nick, you're just trying to do that. Stop calling Teppan Bowl plays.
Nick needed to stop drinking. That's his problem.
Playmaker says, not cool bringing powder tornadoes to Eagles Elite. Hey, when the powder tornadoes hit, powder tornadoes are
call how we see it.
So yes, sir.
Fool said it sounds like a verse from the Diddy Bible. Damien, we gotta put you on the wall. You time out, Damien. You time out. Eagles Elite time out wall.
So the thing with Damien is that guy that you have that watches your show that you just like, I know that like half of what he says is gonna be egregious, but you just be there for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Damien is going to Damien.
Oh man.
So Damien, one more time just for you, my guy. Do unto others as they do unto you. not the Diddy ball.
No diddler. Okay.
I love it, sir. I love it. I am here for it. Everybody might not be. Some people may not like it, be offended, whatever. I'm here for it. But you should be in timeout. But luckily for you, we're here for it. Anywhere else, sir? You'd probably be in timeout. So lucky for you, the Eagles elite. We don't do that. Damien says,
You
"Nah,
are
I'm cool."
very
Man,
entertaining, buddy.
You're entertaining, so you need to change it to entertaining because that's what you are, sir. Entertaining for sure. All right, y'all. We got another conference championship game before we get up out of here. We have at 6:30 p.m. the AFC Championship game, aka who will be playing the Eagles in the Super Bowl, hopefully.
We already know.
We know
The
what's going to happen here, man.
And Big Red.
Yeah. We know what's going to
Big Red and the
happen.
Golden Boy.
As much as literally the whole world doesn't want them to go back, we know who's going back to them Super Bowl.
But what
That's
if?
it.
What if? What if the Eagles win? Follow me. And people are already saying they play the Chiefs again, they're not even gonna watch. A lot of people been saying if it's Eagles Chiefs again, they're not even watching the Super Bowl. The one thing the Super Bowl wants is numbers because they want to rob advertisers every year to keep putting up commercials. So what if, let's say, no matter who wins, what if the NFL says it's not in our best interest for the Chiefs to three-peat? So let's not even let them get there. Or maybe the strip is they get there and play the Eagles and then the Eagles get their revenge. But let's just say, for sake of argument, the script is they don't get there. This would be a great year for that because Buffalo, Josh Allen's kind of the darling this year. He's probably going to be the MVP, right? So he gets there. He's in the Super Bowl. What if they decide to go there? I'm with y'all. I believe the the Kansas City Chieferies are probably going to get there. But what if the NFL says we can't have them three-peat and they decide to just cut them at the legs before they even get to the game so the referees don't forget because they're so used to, giving the Chiefs everything and they go ahead and lose it against the Bills. So what if? Well, truthfully, I think it's going to be the Chiefs because they're the Chieferies for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
I mean, I'm going to say give me either of them. I got the birds against either them Bills or them Chiefs as of right now. I want the Chiefs, in my heart because I want that revenge. But I believe against them Bills we got them too. I think our defense is going to be too much for them, and their defense isn't all there. They're getting 30 dropped on them every game, it seems.
Man, listen.
Very true.
These mugs have been to Super Bowl 2020, 2021, 2023, and 2024. I don't see that happening. I mean, I know, Josh Allen ain't won whoever be up top in Nevada or wherever. He ain't won them over yet. Okay. Golden Boy still hasn't, which I'm not really worried about neither one of them. But Golden Boy still has everybody in Vegas. Okay. So I do believe it's gonna be Golden Boy and Big Red again. And I'm ready for that because I want our get back. But I mean, if it just so happens that Josh Allen them do beat them, I mean, we beat Josh Allen last year and we had a less of a defense last year. Like it was, it was a good defense, but
good point.
The coaches were garbage. So, we weren't even playing to the, we was just playing, they had us fooled thinking they were going to go out here and do something. I think that's when we had won the first, 6 games, 7 games or whatever. So I'm really not worried about Josh Allen. He really didn't play that good. He really hasn't been playing that good. If you look at his numbers, he just knows how to move around and get the ball out to his receivers and running backs. But I honestly think that's who it's going to be is Golden Boy and Big Red. And hopefully Big Red will retire after this. You've been in here too long. Get your ass up out of here, Andy.
Why do you have any last words before we get up out of here, sir?
Regarding the playoffs, like the Chiefs game, or just in general?
Anything you want to say, sir?
I do have something to say that I didn't say earlier. Matter of fact, I don't know why everybody giving Isaiah Rodgers grief. I think this dude went out here and did the best thing he could have in this game, man. He wasn't getting burnt toast. He was there. He was attempting to make plays on damn near everything. I mean, he got the ball taken from him, but it's not like he out here getting burnt toast or anything. I think he played as well as he could have, especially in the snow. He'd been keeping up with Cooper Kupp and with Puka, and he was out here getting roasted on social media and stuff. I was like, man, I think Isaiah Rodgers did a better job than we expected out of a backup corner.
Listen, and he picked up that ball and almost got that touchdown. Y'all better go sit down somewhere.
Exactly.
Oh, one thing I want to say is Slay up there with his old country bucket stuff talking about something. He got a lot of gas left, but he might. I think he's talking about retiring. So
yeah, empty that tank over these next 2 games, please. Use everything you got.
He tried to go raise his
island for the next 8 quarters. It'll be empty.
Yeah, he tried to go raise
actually getting big play Slay. We haven't been getting no play Slay at these past couple games.
Well, yeah, go ahead and big play your stuff on up out of here. All right,
that's what I'm
go
saying.
ahead and give us all you
got. That 93 premium in there. Burn through it.
Go ahead and give us all you got. And go on retire so Rodgers can move to that starting spot. Okay.
He been put that 87 in and he put some 93 in for the playoffs.
Well, he needed to because that 87 wasn't getting nowhere. That 87 was gone by the second play. That's the 87 with that corn in it.
Like we get hurt because they had to go refill.
Yeah, that's the 87 with that corn in it, ethanol. That ain't no good.
That same corn from that beverage.
Moonshine.
Been drinking. All right, so Washington Commanders. Want to let you know a couple of things. First ones, guys.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
Yep, that's what we about to do. Show enough.
Y'all been talking. Y'all been talking since y'all beat Kenny Pickett. I've been pumping y'all's chest.
Barely
y'all
beat Kenny
Daniels in the Hall of Fame. Y'all done made him a 5-time Super Bowl winner. And you done already got Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, MVP locked up for the next 4 seasons. Before any of that can happen, Philadelphia Eagles got a message for y'all as a group, as a fan base, and as a team.
Just bring it, bitch!
Facts.
Time to humble y'all. Bring it back down to earth.
And you got media running around here talking about Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC.
The kid, you dig that sucker!
You know why we asked, can you dig that? Because this was my first thought when I heard it. You know what else? The Philadelphia Eagles are winning Sunday at 3 p.m. When 6:30 gets here, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be the NFC East champions.
Because that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
And lastly, but not leastly, Washington. For the third time.
Yes, sir. Go out here and handle biz, Eagles.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
My boy Vic alive sliding in. Vic says, how's it going, Eagles Elite and my brother Cool Breeze McCain? Vic alive. We getting it done over here, baby. We get ready to try to make that run. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
2 games
2
away.
Super Bowls, 3 years.
2 games away.
Hopefully.
2 games away from the goal. 2 more wins. Diva, Wyatt, appreciate y'all for hopping in with your boy this week for our own brand of Philadelphia Eagles talk. We're gonna be here next week, win or lose. But if we win, it's another what? Winning Wednesday. If we lose, it's not gonna be pretty.
Oh no. But it's gonna be a celebration if we do win. It's gonna be we're gonna be lit for the next 2 weeks leading up to that game.
Lit.
Oh, yeah. Vic says it's y'all time. We needed to be, Vic. We needed to be. We just got to go out and do what we need to do. Everything points there for us. We've been talking about that for weeks. But the main issue is getting there and getting her done.
Getting her done.
That's what we ain't here for. That's the only thing left. Ain't no more talking need to be said. Ain't nothing else need to be said about the game. Fly Eagles fly.
Go Birds.
We will see y'all next week. Win or lose. But we believe it's going to be a win. Let's go.